Hi all, Alan here. So I've been racking my brain on how to introduce this subject without losing people's interest, it being boring or whatever. I already made two videos. One was a half an hour long, one was 15 minutes long. And I'm like, how do, praying about it, how do I introduce this? How do I, bring up this subject? Because it's so important. And I think many people are missing the point. And I think the word sin has become so overly done that I don't think people even know what sin is anymore. So I'm going to do my best to explain what this is really. But before I do, listen, I don't know what the deal is with these algorithms, but listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos that I'm going to put up, or if it's Facebook or Instagram, whatever, give it a share, right? Because this is super, super important, especially with the times that we're in. So, what is sin? So, with a lot of, searching, I figured out that what sin really is, what it breaks down to, is missing the mark. There's a lot of different words for sin in the original Greek and the original Hebrew. But what it all breaks down to is missing the mark or going astray, right? And I was thinking about it. And look, if you guys want to screenshot this, these are my notes. Look at all these notes that I made, right? Um, and if you'd like to do the full study, but what came to me this morning was that basically sin is missing the mark, but it's missing the relationship. It's missing that close relationship. And the analogy I came up with is like, I remember when my first crush with, this girl in high school, and I remember just being head over heels for this girl. And I remember I was going to break it to her and say, hey, I was going to tell her my feelings for her, right? It was going to be at the mall. I used to be a mall rat. And I'll never forget that she came to the mall and she came around the corner and she was holding hands with this other guy. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I was so crushed. And I was also thinking about a relationship with a father and daughter, or father and son, or mother and daughter, or mother and son. You know, a parent with their son or daughter, and how much pain it causes when you see your daughter or your son stray away, miss the mark, which basically breaks down to a person doing their own thing. There's so many relationships between a parent and a daughter or son where it's close and they're buds and everything's cool. And then they become a teenager, and then all of a sudden that goes out the window. No, I want to do things my way. Why don't you let me go out and all this stuff? And I think it completely parallels with our relationship with God. Think about it. It's like Adam and Eve. It breaks down to Adam and Eve, right? They had this close walk with God, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. I mean, how can you get better than that? How can you get better than that? Having that closeness with God. And so when they decided to go their own way and do things the way they want to do, being tempted by the devil who did the very same thing, bottom line is they told God, it's like, you're not good enough. God, you're not good enough. Walking with you in the cool of the day is no longer cool. Right? We want more. We want to. Could you imagine how much that crushed God? Again, as crushed as I was when I saw that girl come around the corner holding hands with another guy, or when your teenage daughter or son just goes out and I don't need you anymore, and that's what it is. That is sin in a nutshell. Again, when we miss the mark, we're missing the relationship, and then we get plunged down into darkness. When I'm sure all of you have been in a relationship that has gone bad. And the feeling of that, I don't know if it can be any worse. There's people that commit suicide over a harsh breakup, right? And that's the exact same thing it is with God. Missing the mark, going our own way, going astray, ripping that relationship apart. That's sin. We need to think about these things on this list and go, is it worth it? Is it worth tearing my relationship with God apart? Right? And in the end, we're going to be eternally separated from Him if we don't stop being that way. Okay, where's that one scripture? I have to read that one at least. Isaiah 53:6. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. Oh my gosh. So that's it, folks. Hope it was an encouragement. Hope it was thought-provoking. And I hope it thought-provokes all of us to reevaluate where we are and to start to get rid of those things that are blocking our walk with God, and to get right with Him again. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, get in touch with me and we can talk more. Okay, God bless.